All praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Let's get into this lesson.
Pat, congratulations to everyone who has been in a relationship for 5 years or more and you are not legally married. The bill that Trump just recently passed states that if you have been in a relationship for 5 years or more, as of August the 1st, you are legally married, guys. What is your opinion on this? How do you feel? Put in the chat how you feel about this.
No, I'm not sure how true this bill is, but let's go off to think of if this is true, right? This would only prove further that sex is indeed marriage, right? Because as you can see, a lot of people are not going through the paperwork, they're not going through, getting a ring nowadays or overspending on a ring. Nowadays, you have something called live-in couples, right? Where a majority of people that are in relationships either live together, right? Or even if they don't live together, they are dating, right? And it's now getting to the point that Esau, wants to keep tabs on everyone. So the thing is, now, there is some ways that a man would avoid a loophole through marriage. And now Esau wants to keep that man back into that loophole, right? Because the thing is, a lot of times a woman will take half the man's assets. But now men are learning, and they're learning to not marry these women so that they don't get taken advantage of and lose half their assets. But if this bill is true, they are now trying to put men under that thumb again to declare them legally married. Now here's the thing. Sex is marriage, right? According to the Bible. It says in Genesis chapter 2, verse 24, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And how do you become one flesh? Through sex, right? It says right here, flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. And what is fornication? Well, let's go to Strong's Concordance. Fornication really is really just sexual morality, right? So let's see, that was 1 Corinthians 6:18. Let's get Blue Letter Bible. Let's just put in fornication. And there's also different types of fornication, right? There's fornication with different gods, right? So, see, fornication tools. Okay. Right. Yes, fornication. It's been a while since I used this, brethren. Right. Porneia, right? So you have the word porneia, which is where fornication comes from. Put it here. Porneia. Slovakia. Where is it again? Okay, tools. Go. Here it is again. Let's go here. It says, porneia, harlotry, including adultery and incest, figuratively idolatry, fornication, right? So this is what fornication really means. Fornication never meant sex before marriage back then. What fornication really meant was sexual immorality. This was adultery, right? Because if you committed adultery, you're also committing sin against yourself, right? Against your own body. Incest, right? That's fornication. And also another fornication was idolatry, which was committing. Sometimes you would commit sexual acts with false gods and like rituals, right? Or a lot of cases, the Israelites, they committed fornication with other gods, right? With the gods of Egypt, with every god of every empire, right? That was a form of fornication, also known as adultery against Yahweh, right? So this is really what fornication really means, right? So let's get over here. Genesis chapter 24, verse 67, 1 to here says, Isaac brought, actually let's get KJV, and Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and this is talking about Rebekah, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. Now, how do you think Rebekah became his wife? Because Isaac took Rebekah. And what does it mean when Isaac took Rebekah? It means Isaac had sex with her. And since Isaac had sex with Rebekah, Rebekah became his wife because they became, in that process of having sex, one flesh. Right? So when they had sex, Isaac and Rebekah, they became one flesh. And it says, and he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. Right? It's 2026, and we should know what fornication really means. Right? So, but of course, it is up to the prophets to undo all the lies, or most of the lies that Esau has been teaching throughout these centuries. So, hope this lesson is edifying. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Hope this lesson is edifying to the elect and hopeful elect, 144,000, and Shalom.